Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Kamala, your physics miss. Today I am going to discuss the rest topics of chapter 13, modern physics and electronics. When it comes to modern physics, then you have to know what is semiconductor, their types, and their applications. Now, what is semiconductor? Semiconductors are materials which have a conductivity between conductors and non-conductors or insulator. We know that there are three types of matter. One is conductor, other is non-conductor, and other is semiconductor. So the conductivity of semiconductor always lies between conductor and non-conductors. Semiconductors can be pure elements and also can be compound. In case of pure element, silicon or germanium. In case of compound, gallium arsenide or cadmium selenide. So these are the examples of semiconductors. A semiconductor material has an electrical conductivity value falling between that of a conductor such as metallic copper and an insulator. This line is very important. Its resistivity falls as its temperature rises. So when the temperature rises, then it can flow current, because current always flow when the resistivity falls and temperature rises. This only in case of semiconductor, and in case of metals the total thing is opposite. Metals means in case of conductor. So this is the total electrical conductivity value and its characteristics of semiconductor. This is the total structure of N-type and P-type semiconductor. N-type semiconductor with phosphorus, P-type semiconductor with acceptor. We know that semiconductors are two types. One is N-type and the other is P-type. N-type, the semiconductors are made by mixing atoms having 5 electrons in the outermost shell like phosphorus are called N-type semiconductors. That means the atoms which possess 5 electrons in the outermost shell like phosphorus are called N-type semiconductor. Here is the structure N-type semiconductor with donor phosphorus. Okay, here is the phosphorus, here is the silicon. Okay, here N-type is the donor, phosphorus acts like donor. Now P-type, these semiconductors almost act as a conductor and positively charged holes conduct electricity through it. Positively charged holes always act as, these are the holes, this is the holes, act as flow of current or conducting holes. Conducting or positively charged hole. When a semiconductor becomes a conductor by adding atoms having 3 electrons in the outermost shell. That means P-type, the basic characteristics of atoms outer shell consist 3 electrons. It is called P-type semiconductor. So it is clear what is N-type and what is P-type. P-type semiconductor always consists of those atoms having 3 electrons in the outermost shell, and N-type semiconductor consists of those atoms which have 5 electrons in the outermost shell. Why semiconductors act as conductor? Usually, electrons are bound to atoms in semiconductors. With the increase of temperature, 1 or 2 electrons may become free, and these are free electrons, so semiconductors may act as conductor to some extent. Now, diode. Diode is very important and essential to know because a semiconductor device produced by N-type and P-type semiconductor is called a diode. That means it consists of N-type and P-type semiconductor. A diode is such an electronic device where current flows in one type of connection of battery but no flows in the reversed connection. So, if the definition comes, then you can give this definition. A diode is such an electronic device where current flows in one type of connection of battery but no current flows in the reverse connection. This is the keyword. Use of diode. We saw different color light, red, blue, green and yellow colored small light are LED, light emitting diode. A diode is also used to convert AC to DC. Okay. Now transistor. A transistor is a kind of device which is made of P-type and N-type semiconductors and it can control the flow of current through it. So, it is made of P-type and N-type semiconductors and it can control the flow of current. We usually know that. And transistors are two types, NP-N-type and PN-P types. A transistor is a device that regulates current or voltage flow and act as a switch or gate for electronic signals. That means it controls, regulates current, voltage flow and acts as switch or gate for electronic signals. You can also give it that a transistor is a device that regulates current or voltage flow. Transistor consists of three layers of semiconductor material, each capable of carrying a current. N-type collector, P-type base, N-type emitter. There is three layer. N-type collector, P-type base, N-type emitter. Thank you everybody for listening me patiently.